Hey there, back again for my third video. I was actually supposed to release a video yesterday, and I did record everything, I got it all ready, and by the end I had it in the wrong format, and so I had to completely delete it all, because my video editing software is messing up as well, and there was no other way I could do it. But in the process, I did find a better editing program, which is great because I got to keep that later down the road. Anyhow, this is the new video, and I'm starting from scratch. And what I wanted to talk about today is the power of the now, and that's being in the current moment that you're, and just being fully conscious in that moment. It makes life so much different living in the now compared to going through a regular day and thinking of the past or the future, because that's what the majority of humans spend their time thinking, is events that already happened, or they're thinking of events that have not happened yet, or might not happen, or could happen. Either way, when we focus in the now, it makes life more fulfilling. You end up having clearer memories down the road, and I mean, anywhere you go, it's going to be a lot better. Imagine you're having a conversation with someone, and they are spacing out the whole time. You're not going to feel you're not going to really feel like they're there, But if they're in the now and they're not actually focused, and they're trying to basically get past any other thoughts they could have of the later or that happened earlier, when they're in the moment with you, it makes everything so much more special and fulfilling. So you could ask, how do you stay in the now? Because there's so much technology and so many distractions we have today. It makes everyone's attention spans, very short. That's why it's so troublesome to actually get in the now, because it's basically quieting your mind and being patient enough to realize that there's things already going on all around you. You could go into a forest, and if you're on your phone your whole time, you're going to be missing out on everything around you. On the other hand, if you go to that forest and you're not on your phone, you're not thinking about what you're going to do later or what you're going to eat later, you're not thinking about what you did yesterday or what happened before, you see all these animals and plants and all these things you generally wouldn't notice because you're there in the moment. You're not in a different timeline. You're actually in the conscious moment. So let's see, I guess you could ask, how do you get into the moment? How do you stay in the moment, which is obviously the most challenging thing we could possibly do. It is like consciously breathing. We don't take time to breathe. On a regular day, we're just breathing naturally all the time. When you take time and you take a really deep breath and you hold it in for, say, like 10 seconds, I guess it depends. You could hold it in for 3 seconds, let it out for 5 seconds, hold it in for 10 seconds, let it out for 15 seconds. You usually want to let out more air than you're pulling in, because it's getting rid of all that extra built up air that you might have, down inside your lungs. So when we consciously breathe, we're pulling ourselves into the moment of time that's happening right now. We're not getting stuck in other timelines. And another way is by meditating. And I think a lot of people have trouble meditating the same way that they do with the short attention span these days. Distractions, If our mind's not distracting us, then there's social media, technology, there's people, there's things happening, events, that, all these distractions, TV. Meditating, the base form, which is probably the easiest way to do it, is just to close your eyes and to not think. It's the absence of thought. So instead of focusing on something, you want to focus on nothing. Every time a thought arises, just push it away, release it, let it go. So those are two ways. I guess the third way is you don't even have to fully meditate. You could just quiet your mind, quiet your thoughts. If you are with a bunch of people, it's better to do that, because then you're in the moment. You're going to remember names, you're going to remember faces, you're gonna remember events that happen, good times, and it's great. So, what else did I want to get to about that? Well, yeah, I mean, once you start living consciously in the moment more often, it makes life more fulfilling. It's almost like you're living in your own movie, because there's no, there's not like any other thoughts going on in your head, and you can just fully live in any present moment that you're in at the time being. I guess another good example would be a street performer. So a street performer, say he's juggling, right? He can't focus on other timelines. He has to focus on the now, the present moment, because if he messes up, it'll completely ruin his trick. If he's juggling and he's like, oh, I might have left the oven on, bam, he, loses all of his juggling pins, for instance, and then the show is over. So when we are in the moment, it gives us full focus on whatever task we're doing, or if we're enjoying ourselves, or if we're eating. Like, eating and being in the moment is amazing. You'll taste the food more. You won't be as hungry later. You'll have like full nutrition from the meal itself. Being in the moment in any situation makes it so much stronger, more pure, and clear. So I suggest you try it out. You could say, maybe I can't do this, or you have a short attention span or anything like that. You can do anything. You just have to practice it and find methods that help work for you. But yeah, I suggest trying just one day, try it out, to live fully in the moment. Every time you start to have thoughts of what you need to do later, like if it's important stuff, then write it down, but don't think about it anymore. If you're thinking about something earlier, then write it down, don't think about it. Try to spend one whole day just in the moment of life and see how different that day is. It'll change your perspective big time. And yeah, I mean, it's awesome. It really is. It's like a super ability. So that's pretty much all I want to get to today. It's funny, the reason why I messed up yesterday is because I wasn't in the moment. I was thinking of all these other things, and that's probably why I screwed up the video. But I wouldn't be here with these extra points that I had down if I didn't do what I did. Learn my own lesson, not being in the moment. So that's about it. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.